Hello and welcome to Wordsmith Writing Coaches. I'm the head coach, Nick Nelson, and I'm here to help you tell your story well and publish wisely. If you email me a question about either of those things, I'll answer it in a brief video. If you subscribe to this channel and hit that bell icon too, you'll be notified when my answer posts for you. So here's a question I was asked on Quora. My new book is currently free to read on Kindle Unlimited, which lets me see that some people download it but don't even read a page or two before they stop reading. How do they make that choice so quickly? Well, you've just experienced personally what we editors and agents have been telling authors like you for decades now. A reader is going to decide whether they like your story or like it enough to try to read the whole thing within about the first 100 words, maybe two or 300 or 500 words. That's just one or two pages in a paperback book. So this is why there are so many webinars and workshops and mini courses and pitch fests that focus on helping writers improve their opening. Those first few paragraphs, or the first 10 pages, or the first chapter, um, the publishing world offers tons of help with the first part of your book, both free and paid, to help you write things that readers will actually want to read all the way through and enjoy. You might want to avail yourself of some of that help. It's interesting, though, that the vast majority of that help does focus on the beginning of the book and just on attracting attention to your book and trying to get people to pick up your book and open your book and at least begin reading your book. For example, there's a lot out there about um, getting your elevator pitch or your log line straight when you're talking about your book to others. There's a lot of help out there in the interwebs about making your cover design effective because, yes, readers do initially judge your book by its cover. There's a lot out there about how to write a great back cover blurb, a great book description, a promotional synopsis. Because people look at the front of your book, the cover of the book, then they turn it over and they read the back cover. Or they click on the cover thumbnail online so that they can read the book description. That's how they make the decision whether or not they want to download your book or read your book or put it in their Kindle queue. And by the way, the insider synopsis and the working synopsis are very different things from the promotional synopsis. So if you want to read more about that, go see my article on Medium. I'll put a link in the description. Also, more about helpful things out there about the beginning of your book. Search for the term hook. Like, there's a lot out there that focuses on just your first paragraph, your first page, or your first several pages. That's where you secure the reader's interest in your story world. That's where you develop the reader's empathy with your protagonist. That's where you polish up the inciting event. A place needs to be created, and it needs to be populated with characters, or at least a character that your reader begins to care about very quickly, right away. And then something needs to happen in that world, which means that that world is changed forever, at least for the protagonist that you're just starting to care about. So, to our credit, as a supportive community for writers, the publishing world also offers a decent amount of help focused on the middle of your book, trying to help you make your book into a page turner. There are tons of resources out there to help you with story structure and scene structure and plot and dialogue and character building and conflict building. Just Google phrases like how to keep the reader from putting your book down or make a page turner or something like that. You might want to avail yourself of some of this help too. However, the most important factor that influences whether or not a reader loves a book has to do with how the story ends, not how it begins or how it continues. And there seems to be very little out there about how to write a satisfying ending. Prove me wrong in the comments. Conversely, the most important factor that inspires a reader to hate a book, to actually take the time and trouble to give your book a 1-star rating and write a negative review of it, is when they have paid money for a book that did not deliver what it promised on the cover, what it promised in its pitch, what it promised in its book description. One of the most important functions of allowing people to read your book for free on Kindle Unlimited or a beta reader program like Beta Books or something like that, one of the most important reasons that you want beta readers or that you want to offer your book for free at first is to determine whether or not they find in your story whatever you offered them to get them to open it in the first place. And if they don't find it soon, they won't bother reading the rest. If they don't find it consistently throughout the whole book, they won't bother finishing it. And if they invested time and energy to read the whole book and they still don't find what you promised them in the beginning, but the book was free anyway, well, it usually won't feel like it's worth their time to leave a bad review. Ah, yeah, they'll tell their friends how bad the book was, but at least it won't make it into print, publicly attached to your book. So be glad that you're testing your book on Kindle Unlimited. You've dodged a number of bad reviews, and so be glad you're testing your book on Kindle Unlimited. You've dodged a number of bad reviews, and you know you have some work to do to improve your reader's experience of your story. So if you're struggling with some part of the writing process, or if you have any questions about writing, please send me an email and I'll respond to you in a video like this one. If this video was helpful, please click like and subscribe to this channel for more answers and writing tips in the future. Be sure to click that bell icon too so that you'll get a notification when I post another video, which won't happen very often. Unless, of course, you send me a question. Thanks for watching. Until next time, tell your story well and publish wisely.